Is it morally wrong to not visit a loved one with dementia or Alzheimer's in a nursing home? What is the point of visiting if they don't remember you, or won't remember you ever visited?
As a hospice volunteer, most of the folks I see have dementia, most are in a locked memory care part of the facility. I have been warned countless times that the new patient I am about to see is angry, abusive, grabby or likely to hit me. Never, not once, have any of my folks been mean or violent with me. I have found, instead, that these people are craving social contact and human affection. I have a unique role in their lives. I am not trying to convince them of anything. I am not there to try to get their cooperation or force needed care on them. I do not correct their mistakes or their perceptions of reality. I do not come to them with pain because they don't know who I am. If one of my folks is talking to somebody who is not in the room, I accept it. If they can't find the right words, or any words at all, I nod, smile, and tell them I understand. I answer to any name they give me, and reintroduce myself as a new acquaintance every time we meet. I have listened to stories from folks who have lost their words. I have looked at the same photo albums every visit for weeks. I have made lists of afternoon chores that will never get done. I have sat, holding hands, for hours, just looking out of a sunny window. It's not about getting well, or holding on to hope, or being recognized. It's about being present, and sharing your love. Morals are a personal thing, but I will tell you that a person with dementia does not need to recognize you to feel your affection. If you can give them your love without the burden of your pain, they will receive it.
The last time I saw my grandpa, he didn't remember me when I came in. I cried, while he sang. That's all he could really remember. He was a very musically inclined man. At the end of the visit, he said he would walk my mom and I out to the doors, and then all of a sudden he said my childhood nickname, picked me up, and he cried and said I looked so beautiful. I think it's worth it to go and visit them, also just to keep them company as well.
When I was visiting my elderly mom, almost daily, in a nursing home for 3 years, I noticed a man who had dinner with his wife every night after work at the DPW. His wife, in her 60s, was blind, bedridden, and underwent dialysis treatments. The EMTs bundled her up and took her away by ambulance to the medical facility 3 times a week. He never missed his date with his wife. Once, I was at lunch with my mom and went over to talk to the wife. Her affect was negative and I couldn't get a conversation going. I thought, maybe this is what she's like with her husband too, but I didn't really know. I chatted with him on occasion, as we were regulars there. One day, I shook my head in sympathy and said, when it comes to health, she got the short end of the stick. He agreed, as I observed the little dark cloud passing over his expression. Another woman visited her elderly mom after work every day too. She was a dental hygienist and brushed, flossed, and stimulated her mother's gums daily. Her mom pretty much had no idea what was going on. She died within a year, but her teeth were healthy. I understand, however, that the attention by loving and repetitive human touch, same as gently brushing hair, is soothing and calming. These are just 2 examples of simple heroism that I saw at the nursing home. Most of the time, the residents were alone. Sadly, the people who visit are considered heroes because there are very few who do so on a regular basis, as I personally observed. Those who cannot or choose not to visit for whatever reason, and understand that this is not intended as judgment, please know that the regular visitors invariably pay attention to and form relationships with the other residents as well, perhaps with your own family member, unbeknownst to you. It's an occurrence in nursing homes for those residents who are able to spend time in common areas. This reminds me of when my son, as a college student, visited his elderly grandmother, my dear mother-in-law, regularly in the nursing home many years ago. She had a roommate, who had been regional president of Hadassah, a Jewish women's organization that supports medical facilities, most famously Hadassah Hospital in Jerusalem. She listened to opera and concerts all the time on her FM radio. An intelligent, thoughtful conversationalist, we spent many afternoons discussing current events, issues of the day, questions of morality and religion. She was bedridden, but though physically debilitated and in constant pain, her mind was clear and her presence was strong. We never saw her family there, they lived in another part of the state. When my son left for school in Israel, he corresponded with her. He was very fond of her. She pinned his picture postcards and letters to her bulletin board. She kept an eye on my mother-in-law, who was a decade older. When she passed, she requested that the staff leave her in the room for a while longer so that she could say her private goodbye. We continued to visit her, our interesting, dynamic, outspoken, warm-hearted friend. We all adored her. After she died, I sent a donation to her organization and asked them to send an acknowledgement to the family. Eventually, I received a thank you note from her daughter, expressing curiosity as to who we were, these people who were so interested in her mother, with the implication that she could not understand why, as her mother was difficult and had been addicted to painkillers. I thought the response to be disrespectful, with too much information. I discarded her letter and preferred to remember the woman we were fond of and privileged to know. The community of caregivers does not discriminate or withhold from their own or others. Join them and support them if you can. And they serve as role models for younger generations in the family who see them caring for and honoring their revered elders as the natural order of things. If anything has given me faith in humanity, it was my experience in nursing homes, with my mom and mother-in-law, and this woman. And now, they rest in peace. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to subscribe and click the like button. When the stories run out, make sure to flip the tape over to continue. Adios, amigos.